Hey everybody, it's Fancy Brain Mold here. Unfortunately, due to my stupidity, I didn't actually have my mic on whenever I was recording my face cam when I, originally played this game, or this episode of Grim Fandango. Speaking of which, welcome to Grim Fandango, Part 3. So it's on me for getting the mic, and I actually recorded a voiceover already, and the mic still wasn't on, so clearly I'm insane, as you can tell. But this episode was particularly difficult due to some technical glitches I found with the game, and I'm just going to do this voiceover throughout the whole episode, kind of explain what actually happened, because there was about 40 to 50 minutes worth of recording that I have now trimmed down to 15 minutes. Actually, because I was going around in circles trying to figure out what to do. And so, we'll just, go in chronological order, and I'll keep my commentary as limited or as rambling as I can. So what I'm trying to figure out right now was that you need to get rid of the beavers. That's the main thing. And I knew you had to extinguish them with the extinguisher, and this cubby hole that I'm standing under right now, or Manny's standing under right now, was very integral to it all. So, and as you'll see, I'm just kind of fidgeting around trying to figure out what to do, and I did eventually figure out what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to throw a bone into the tar or whatever it is, and then while the beaver is about to dive in after it, you pull out the extinguisher, and as it's coming down, it gets extinguished and it falls into the tar, and for some reason that kills them, I guess. I don't know, but at the end of the day, that's how the game was programmed, and that's what it was expecting from me, so, it was very, very weird doing this episode, like I said, because of all the technical glitches. In that back to the left of Manny, I don't know if you could see it, but there's a padlock, and that became integral later on too, and I'll comment on that as it comes along, but we're about to skip ahead here when I actually figure out the solution to getting rid of the beavers. And so you throw a bone into the tar, and then you actually have to pull the extinguisher out. I pull it at the side because I'm an idiot, but there was a programming glitch in the game to where for some reason this still extinguished the beaver. So you can tell by the confusion on my face that that was not supposed to happen, as you could expect. But it was so dumb that happened. And that's the thing. I found that glitch and another glitch that actually affected the gameplay later on that you'll see here in a second. And I was so mad when I did finally figure it out, and I told myself that I would not use a walkthrough for this game. This is a game they need to experience as is, and I didn't want to do that, but I got stuck, and it's because of this sign that's right next to us.
Down there.
So Gladys is over it right now, and he's about to turn around and knock it over. Okay, that sign is important, okay? And I didn't know this until I looked up the walkthrough. And by the time I did that, the sign had disappeared for some reason. So that's another glitch. And again, you'll see it later when I'm coming back to the screen, and I'll point it out to you. But it was such bullshit, because I was going around in circles trying to figure out what to do next after I got rid of all these beavers. And I was so mad. But, I'll explain as we're going along, like I said. But no, I'm pointing it out now so you can see the sign, okay? It's still there right now. I get back on the car with Gladys, and, I have bones in hand to get rid of the beavers, and for some reason Manny's going back and forth. I, for some reason, cannot make up my mind. Gladys really needs to shut up as well. That was one thing I was saying throughout the playthrough, because he was getting on my nerves a lot. Because, again, I was going around everywhere trying to find the key to this padlock, and lo and behold, I couldn't because the game glitched. So here we see me coming back to the dam, and I 3 bones in hand to get rid of these 2 beavers, just in case I missed one of them. And it turns out that I did, so it was a good thing that I did that. So, here we go again. I'm gonna pull out another bone. And then, once I throw it, the beaver's gonna kind of go for a wind-up to dive in. And during this time is when you pull out the extinguisher, start spraying it, and then the beaver dives into the stream, and then it's dead. Again, for some reason the fire is what keeps these things alive in that tar, but it was quite the challenge after this. Like I said, almost 40 to 50 minutes worth of content just gone because I could not figure out what to do. And it also doesn't help that I didn't have my mic on like an idiot. So I'll try to keep that from happening later on in the future. I might just leave my mic on. I don't know if the electric bill will be affected by that or not, but yeah. And then the beaver jumps and it's dead. So, and with that, the beavers are gone. They aren't a problem anymore. And so now the issue comes of how do you get Gladys and the car, the bone mobile, into the dam? Because for some reason we couldn't do that. And so I'm about to get in the car, and yeah, and the padlock's still over there to the left. That's what you need to unlock in order to get them into the through the dam. And once I get in the car,
the next project should be wings.
There, you can see the sign is now gone in the bottom right corner. And so when I come back,
East of Black River are blowing bubbles at the bottom. So let's power on through, huh, Glot?
Manny, look at that badass gate. I can't drive through that. We have to find the key.
Híjole.
and so like Gladys said, you need to find the key in order for them to get through. So, that sign is important because what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take it somewhere and it points you in the direction you're supposed to go. Well, if the sign is no longer there, it's not much help to me.
That road leads out of the forest. Plus, how could I leave without Gladys?
And I was so mad when I finally did figure it out. And the other thing I will point out is you can actually grab the bones that are at the dam rather than going all the way back to those spider hawks. I did not realize this, and so it made me record a lot longer than I probably should have, but it really doesn't matter when in fact the game glitched to where you can't progress the game. And so I picked up some bones here just to demonstrate that, I guess, but we're about to skip ahead to where I actually had to reload the game after 40 minutes of going around trying to figure this out. And there you can see the sign is back. And this is after I quit the game, I saved it, and then reloaded my previous file. Because this game does feature multiple files that you can save under. But when I did finally find that sign, I was both happy and pissed. Because this should not happen in a game. And yet here we are. And so you knock it over with the car, and then get out, and then pick it up, and then here comes the next source of why I was so frustrated at the end of it all. When you get the sign, you're supposed to go over to the top left where those tunnels are that feed into each other. Okay? And this is another example of the game being very, very mean to players that are not smart enough for it. And again, I tried not to use a walkthrough, but at the same time, it felt kind of warranted in this situation. So what you do is you take the sign and you put it in the middle of this arena, I'll call it. And I was spending so long going around this arena trying to figure out some pattern to these caves without the sign, and that was trying my patience a lot. And so, what you're supposed to do is put the sign in the middle, and then move a little bit to where that sign is pointing. I thought that you put the sign in and then go into the tunnels based on all the different arrows that are on it, because I also couldn't see it very well because it was pointing toward the camera, so you couldn't see the actual arrow pointing. And it turns out that means
it's
nothing.
pointing somewhere.
Yeah, and you can also see that there are like multiple arrows in there. I didn't know if there was some pattern that I needed to do, but at the end of the day, none of it mattered.
It's pointing somewhere.
And we're about to cut ahead here in a few seconds when I actually do figure out the puzzle. But this game is such a troll with its puzzles in some ways. Kind of like the lock on the like mailroom door in the few episodes ago. And so, yeah, I was going around this thing with the sign for about 5 minutes. Without it, it was about 30 minutes. Finally, you know, I looked at the walkthrough again, and there the sign is pointing in that direction that I'm kind of motioning my mouse towards. And so I picked it up, and here it comes. And I thought maybe if I go through the tunnels, it'll do something. And that didn't do shit. Finally, I said, okay, let me really think about this for a second, what the walkthrough is saying. And so you pick it up, and then you just kind of move in the general direction of the sign, and then you place it back down. And this is when we finally get our solution right here.
Loteria.
What pisses me off about this is there's no way you would have explicitly known to do that. There's no way, or at least I would think to do that. And there you can see the key on the right side, and this game is fantastic, but it's also very infuriating, because you'll spend so long trying to figure out the solution, and at the end of the day, it's something completely obscure. And I guess that's what kind of makes this game unique.
Sort of warning sign.
And
They'll
here's
tear
Manny's,
you apart, bone by bone, and
monologue.
build with you a human throne. Their buck-toothed king will sit upon what once was you, but now is gone. This key unlocks the gates of hell. Steady traveler, use it well.
And then we get the key, and from
Can't pass
there
up an old
you
creepy
unlock
key.
the gate to the dam, and then we progress the game. It's quite that simple, but yet it's not simple at all, because who in their right mind would have thought to do that when playing this game for the first time? I certainly didn't. And it,
This
like I
outer
said,
gate is
it
huge.
doesn't
I'll
help
need Glottis to
that the
open it.
game glitched out on
I
me.
don't know if I like driving over people.
They can't feel it, they're dead.
You're dead. I wouldn't want to drive over you.
That's because you and I, Glottis, are friends.
Aw, Manny.
Those people are also dead.
Hello? Miss Colomar! We're here to save you!
Hey, lay off the racket, the whole town's asleep.
But I want a drag race! When they get a load of my car, we're gonna be the talk of the town!
You're right. We're gonna have to find a good place to hide that road show. Speaking of hiding, I wonder if Mitch is here already. I'm gonna go see what I can stir up. Not a bad piece of real estate, actually. It's got potential.
And there we see where this game actually led to if played right. And so this is where I end the video. I'm glad I had a save slot, and hopefully this doesn't get glitched out afterwards after doing that. And it's a great game for sure, but it's definitely got its problems. So anyway, hopefully I don't forget to turn on my mic when I record. And yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and keep you posted for the next video. Bye bye.